If a man is now in a relationship, what may stand out is that he is overly focused on his mother's life and is neglecting his own. And so most of his own needs and feelings will be overlooked. And while this could show that this is his first relationship, there could be more to it. But if he has been in another relationship, there is a chance that it wasn't very serious. And so the woman was not expecting much from him, and he didn't feel the need to give much to the woman. But through being in this relationship now, it will allow him to see clearly. And at this point, he could struggle to understand why he is this way, why he is neglecting himself, and why his own life is secondary to his mother's life. Because, of course, he will be an individual, he will be here to live his own life. He will not be an extension of his mother, so there will be no reason for him to behave in this way. But when he is around his mother, he can find that he ends up creating the impression that everything is fine and that he is happy to be there for her. And his mother may believe that she is entitled to his attention and time and his resources, and there is then going to be no reason for her to encourage him to live his own life. And so when he is with his mother, it will be as if something takes over and that he loses the ability to express himself, to be real, to be authentic with his mother, and to express what is really going on for him, and the fact that he is no longer willing to neglect himself. And at this point, he could feel hopeless and helpless and believe that he needs his mother's permission to change his life. And if he was to imagine being around his mother and standing his ground, this can be a time when he will feel as though he will be rejected and abandoned, and that his life will come to an end. And taking this into account, is then going to be normal for him to neglect himself and to put on an act when he is around his mother. Because as his survival is attached to her and he believes that he needs to please her in order to survive, it is not going to leave him with any other choice. He will feel compelled to neglect himself and to play a role. And what this is likely to show is that his early years were not very nurturing. So this is likely to have been a time when his mother used him to meet some of her adult and unmet childhood needs. And this would have caused him to be deeply traumatized and prevented him from being able to go through each developmental stage. And when he was deprived of what he needed, he would have experienced a lot of pain, and his brain would have repressed this pain, and he would have gone into a shutdown, collapsed, frozen, and disconnected state. So many years will have passed since he was a dependent infant and toddler and child, but a big part of him won't have moved on. He will still be developmentally stuck and carry a lot of pain. And this is why his very survival will still be attached to his mother, because he was unable to go through each stage. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this, you can see that although you are a man, you don't feel as though you are a man, and you don't feel as though you are able to express who you are and to survive. Then you're likely to have a lot of pain to work through, many layers of pain to work through. And as you work through this pain, you will gradually be able to go through each developmental stage and to realize at the core of your being that you don't need to please your mother, you don't need to focus on her, and you can focus on your own life and survive, because you will be, not just physically, but emotionally, you will feel like an individual. And this is a process that may require the assistance of a therapist or a healer, because through carrying so much pain, it might be too much right now for you to handle this by yourself. But as you start to work through these layers, perhaps with external support, you will gradually be able to work through this pain by yourself. The main thing is that you reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. The truth is that your life is important, and you're not here to live anyone else's life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.